challenges does Canelo pose once you guys get in there?
I don't know. I just think, his punching power and his physical size is the only thing that I really.
The man must have seen something when he called to Canelo out, because you got to remember, Bud called Canelo out. So he must see something in order for him to get that win, and he can win. So like I said before, it's our job to hit into.
Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford have never liked each other, but now it's something else. The tension between them has been building for months, and today's heated run-in at the airport was just the latest explosion in a rivalry that's only getting nastier, assuring us of how big this fight will be.
Versus Crawford, the biggest fight in the game.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, like when you're looking at Ryan Garcia and Tank Davis, this is the next thing beyond that.
They haven't fought yet, but the way they had to be separated says everything about where this is going. The incident has the pros talking, so let's catch you up.
I have Canelo. Canelo's more comfortable at 168. He's going to fight again for undisputed for a second time at 168. So this is nothing uncomfortable to him. Terence Crawford's a great fighter, and of course we're starting to see that he can probably make 168 naturally. But again, it's a different division. 147, 168, two different.
Canelo has made it clear from the start that he doesn't take Crawford seriously. He doesn't see him as a threat, and hasn't been shy about saying so. He's brushed off the idea that Crawford belongs in the ring with him, calling him too small, too untested at higher weights, and too full of himself after one big win over Errol Spence. One fight doesn't make you great, he has said over and over. For Canelo, this is just another day at work. In his mind, Crawford is stepping into a fight he doesn't understand, and once they're in the ring, it's going to show.
I don't think it's a fight Canelo really wants, if I'm honest, because I think he feels like he won't get a lot of credit beating a light middleweight. And Crawford's going to move a lot in that fight, which is not ideal for Canelo. But what's his options? I mean, if Bivol wins, he could fight him for undisputed. That's a very tough fight. What's the other options? Benavidez is up at 175. Obviously, His Excellency wants to make that fight, so guess we could see it next.
Crawford, though, doesn't see it that way. He's been waiting for this opportunity. He's studied Canelo for years, seen the changes, the slower reflexes, the moments of exhaustion in recent fights. He doesn't think Canelo is the same fighter he used to be. He has said outright that Canelo has been ducking real threats, hand-picking fights that make him look good while avoiding opponents like David Benavidez. Crawford believes he's the one who will expose Canelo, not just beat him, but embarrass him. And after today, the rivalry has only gotten worse. It's not just talk anymore. Still heated from their near confrontation, Crawford didn't hold back. I won't let him disrespect me. If he thinks he can intimidate me, he's got another thing coming. There was no promoter next to him, no cameras forcing him to hype the fight, just raw frustration spilling out. He's had enough of Canelo's dismissive attitude, enough of being treated like an outsider in the sport. He wants to make this fight personal, because for him, it already is.
And Terence Crawford is a legend. He's great. He's a great fighter. The only thing I see that I favor Canelo is that his weight.
Yeah.
And that he's more bigger. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing. But as far as skill set wise, IQ, I feel like Crawford can match anybody and probably do way better. You know what I'm saying? But Crawford is a legend, bro.
Yeah.
And Crawford's move up to 154 pounds was always going to shake up boxing, but now, with a clash against Canelo Alvarez looming, everything has intensified. After becoming a four-weight world champion by edging out Israel Madrimov last August, Crawford proved he could hang with bigger men. But now he's eyeing an even greater challenge, jumping to 168 to face the undisputed king of the division. At 37, time isn't on his side. This could be one of his final fights, and he knows it. That's why he's making it clear that if he's going out, he's doing it on his own terms, against the biggest name possible.
Say that Crawford can beat Canelo, no problem. I mean, I respect that, but I just think they're stupid. I mean, excuse my language. The size difference of a bigger man changes everything with one punch. And I can see the same thing. I mean, you saw Canelo Alvarez fighting Amir Khan. Now, look at this. Terence Crawford moved from 47 to 54 to fight Madrimov. What did he do to Madrimov? Nothing. Okay, Madrimov was a 54-pounder. Now, to move up to 168, that's 2 more divisions. Canelo Alvarez will take any punch from Crawford, but I don't think Crawford will take any punches from Canelo. Remember, Canelo got hit by Triple G, the heaviest hitter in that division. And Canelo took those shots like a champ.
Not everyone thinks it's a bad idea. Shakur Stevenson, who has sparred countless rounds with Crawford, has been one of the loudest voices backing him. He's been saying it for years, even before Crawford himself entertained the idea that Bud's style is a nightmare for Canelo. I always thought that his style versus Canelo, I think he beats Canelo, Stevenson said, doubling down on his belief that Crawford has all the tools to make this a very one-sided fight. I'm not saying it'll be easy, but he can make it easy.
He was able to take a punch at 135, or Tio, once he moved up to 140, they like, oh, he don't punch his hardest. He punched at 140, but you're moving up in weight. So for me to do it in 3 different weight classes at 27 years old, it just makes it so much better. And I understand the sport of boxing. I understand that at 135, the guys is bigger, stronger, tougher. So they're not able to walk through me. Honestly, if anybody could jump up in weight classes and do it, it's Terence Crawford. I don't know nobody who is mentally as strong as Terence Crawford. So
it's a bold take, but Stevenson isn't just hyping up his friend. He knows what Crawford is capable of in the ring. He's seen his speed, his ability to switch stances effortlessly, and most importantly, his underrated power. I don't think Canelo is walking through his punches. Terence can punch, and that goes for any weight class. He added, that last point is key. Crawford might be smaller, but he's not coming into this fight as some feather-fisted technician looking to survive. He's stepping in believing he can hurt Canelo, and that changes everything if they do fight.
If they do fight, Cole, how do you see it going?
if they do fight, I told you I think that Bud outboxes him. I think he's gonna use his legs, keep Canelo on the outside, and make it an easy night.
Got you.
The first reaction, of course, was about the size difference. Is it okay for Crawford to move up 2 weight classes? Yes, he has great skill, and he's capable of winning this fight. But there are a lot of small things. We don't know how he will deal with the power and pressure of 168, whether he'll get used to it, and how he'll feel on fight night. His training camp will be crucial. There are many unknowns, but he's skilled, he's awkward, and he's capable, says Dmitry Bivol.
First reaction, of course, it was about size of Crawford. Is it okay for him to move up for 2 weight classes, yeah? And he has very good skill. He able to win this fight. But there is a lot of but, and even not but, there is a lot of things, small things, which we don't know how he will deal with this. He need to get used to the power and pressure of 168. Maybe he will get used to it, and how he will be feeling himself on the same day when he will fighting, how his training camp will go on, a lot of things. But he's able, he has good skills, he's up.
Would you favor Canelo or Crawford in this fight? How do you think it goes? Crawford will try to keep Canelo at a distance, but Canelo will look to close the gap. David Benavidez, the man many believe should be facing Canelo instead, is watching this fight closely. He sees it as one of the most intriguing matchups in years. This will be a fight for the ages, Benavidez said. Canelo with his experience, his skills, and his ability to adapt. Crawford with his versatility, his technique. It's got the potential to be an all-time classic.
Throwing his hat in to want to fight Canelo at 168.
I mean, everybody wants to fight Canelo. It's a money fight, you know what I mean? I think even Inoue would come up to fight Canelo if Canelo wanted to fight him. I mean, I don't want to see Crawford to fight Canelo, to be honest with you. But it would be, I'm not saying it wouldn't be a great fight. It would be a great fight. But I feel like if I deserve my opportunity. And after this fight, what else are you going to say? You know what I mean? This is a tough fight. You know, the top WBC, the top people ranked at the WBC are fighting each other. So I mean, it should be an easy call. If I can't get those fights, then I'll go up to fight Bivol, or I'll go try to, you know, I set my conquest on 175. Like I said, I don't want no handouts either. I want to, you know, earn my spots everywhere I go, even at 175. But you know, I see that weight class. You know, I want to become champion at 170.
Benavidez understands the contrast in styles better than most. He knows Canelo is a master at controlled aggression, picking his shots and breaking opponents down. But he also respects Crawford's ability to switch between orthodox and southpaw, create angles, and make opponents miss. It'll be about who can impose their style and who can adapt on the fly. He said, "That's what makes this fight so unpredictable." Both men are elite at adjusting, but only one will be able to take control when it matters.
Like, he could be the guy. What kind of a chance do you ultimately give him?
I think you give him like a 7 out of a 10.
Oh, wow, that high. I thought you were going to say like 25.
I mean, no,
just
Crawford is good. Crawford is good, and I think he's been known that he's going to fight Canelo for a long time. And you know, Crawford he likes to pick up the weight, so I'm sure he's been working on the weights for a long time. So, you know, Crawford, when he has with a person that has a big IQ like that, if you do enough weights, you know, and you stay working for a long time, you know, you have a puncher's chance, and you could, you know, you definitely, you know, make the other guy uncomfortable or hurt him a couple times. So, yeah, Crawford is a really good fighter. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if he wins.
Wow, okay. I don't know if a lot of people are picking that, but obviously your opinion would.
For Benavidez, the stakes are personal. He's been chasing a Canelo fight for years, only to be told he wasn't the right fight at the right time. Now he's watching as Crawford, an outsider to the division, gets the shot he's been waiting for. He knows whoever wins this fight will be the face of boxing, at least for a while. But he also knows he's not far behind. Whoever wins, whether it's Canelo or Crawford, will probably be next in line for big opportunities. But I'm ready for any of them. I won't back down from any challenge. And there's more. Ryan Garcia's words hit the boxing world like a grenade. He didn't hedge his bets. He didn't sugarcoat anything. To him, Terence Crawford has no real shot against Canelo Alvarez, no debate.
What about Canelo and Crawford? What do you think?
That's gonna be a great fight too. I can't believe they made that happen. Turkey's been making a lot of great fights happen. You can't really.
No hesitation. Sitting down with AK and Barack on the Ring Champs podcast, Garcia didn't just predict a Canelo victory. He outright dismissed Crawford as a real threat. He can't beat Canelo, Garcia said, shaking his head like it was the most obvious thing in the world. He didn't look that strong against Madrimov, and Madrimov isn't even big. That last part stung. Crawford had edged out Israel Madrimov in his last fight, but Garcia saw nothing there that made him believe Bud had the firepower to move up and hang with a man like Canelo. Size, power, experience. Garcia thinks Canelo has all the advantages, and he made sure to let everyone know.
I think Crawford has the skill and IQ to win. Canelo is too strong, but would go for Bud just for the upset money. But my problem with that, that take is this. I hate when in a fight, when the physically weaker guy has to rely on their IQ and skills.
But then you have James Toney, the man who fought at middleweight, super middleweight, and light heavyweight. And he doesn't see any of that as a problem for Crawford. While Garcia fixates on size, Toney sees skill, and, in his opinion, that's where the real difference lies. To him, Crawford isn't just good, he's unbeatable. Easy win, Toney declared when asked about the fight. Easy win, trust me. That's not the kind of thing you say lightly, especially about a guy like Canelo. But Toney wasn't backing down. Canelo is a good fighter, but he's not on James Toney's level.
The others say, like, no, that's 2 more weight classes. Like, once he gets touched by Canelo, it's going to be different.
I am concerned about him absorbing a Canelo punch, especially through the course of 12 rounds. We do know this about Canelo. He's going to slow down, you know, so I think if anything, Canelo would try to start fast and bang on him and break him down before he gets later, and he's still got that kind of steam. But, you know, there's so many components that make a champion. There's so many components that make a great, a legend.
That line says it all. Toney sees himself in Crawford, a slick, sharp, multidimensional fighter who can pick apart even the strongest, most dangerous punchers. If he believes Crawford would win easily, it means he believes Crawford's skill set is simply too advanced for Canelo to handle. He's not worried about size, not worried about power. He's only looking at who has more tools in the ring, and in his mind, that's Crawford by a landslide. Then, as if the debate wasn't already heated enough, Floyd Mayweather Jr. stepped in and made sure his voice was the loudest. And as always, Mayweather wasn't interested in polite analysis. He went straight for the jugular. You can take a guy like Canelo, Mayweather said in an interview with Fight Hype, pausing for effect. Mayweather has never believed that Canelo is all that people say. I'll tell the truth about Canelo. The guy was easy, a cakewalk, easy. That wasn't just confidence. That was Mayweather essentially telling the world that Canelo, the undisputed king at 168 pounds, the man who has beaten everyone from GGG to Caleb Plant, was nothing special when he fought him. You're all praising this dude, Mayweather continued. He was nothing. I was almost 40, and I cooked this dude. Easy. That was more than just a dig at Canelo. That was Mayweather drawing a direct line from himself to Crawford. Because if he was able to school Canelo at nearly 40, then why wouldn't the younger, fresher, and just as skilled Crawford be able to do the same?
A man coming from 147, I know he's a great man. Crawford is a great man and a great warrior. But you come from 147 to put on a better fight than I mean, I don't even know what that means. I don't know if that means that Crawford is so great and he can do that, or that means that Charlo set the bar so damn low that anybody could do better.
Mayweather didn't stop there. He made it clear who he sees as the best fighter alive today. As of right now, I'd put Terence Crawford as #1 pound for pound. And that statement alone carried weight. Mayweather, the undefeated legend, the man who dominated boxing for over 2 decades, was essentially saying Canelo's good, but Crawford is better. And if you listen to Mayweather, better beats bigger every single time. But no one's opinion carries more weight than Sean Porter's when it comes to this fight. Because unlike Garcia, Tony, or even Mayweather, Porter has been in the ring with Crawford. He's felt Bud's power, speed, and skill firsthand. And what he had to say should make anyone betting against Crawford think twice. Crawford is as good as you think he is, Porter told Talk Sport Boxing, his voice carrying the certainty of experience. And then he gave Crawford the kind of compliment that speaks volumes. I'll tell you what separates him from everybody. He has it physically, he puts in the work, he has all that. But he has an added component of being the strongest and most courageous man I've ever been in the ring with. That's the kind of thing you don't hear often in boxing. Fighters praise each other all the time. But to say someone is the strongest and most courageous man you've ever fought, that's different. That's next level. And that's exactly why Porter believes Crawford can beat Canelo. I do believe he can beat Canelo, he continued, sounding more convinced with every word. I think it's perfect timing for both of them. I think Canelo has enough miles on the clock that he could break down over 8-10 rounds, and it could be Terence's fight. That last part is key, because while many look at this fight and see size, weight, and power as the deciding factors, Porter sees something else: timing. Yes, Canelo is a beast at 168 pounds. Yes, he's the undisputed champion, but he's also been in some serious wars. The trilogy with GGG, the grueling loss to Bivol, the fights against Kovalev, Plant, Saunders, and Charlo. All of those battles take a toll, and Porter believes that toll might be enough to tilt this fight in Crawford's favor.